Is there something subversive about the title "Appeal to Reason"?
Appeal to Reason I got from reading people's history. It was about turn of the century America, industrialization. We're in the throes of industrialization, and the average worker is becoming a cog in the gear, living in slums, getting paid almost nothing. Living conditions were bad, working conditions were bad. At that point in America's history, socialism was on the rise because it was talking about making things fair. And certainly a large portion of America, felt like, J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller were living in mansions, and they were living in slums in Chicago, working at slaughterhouses and getting paid nothing, and they no longer saw this as the American dream. And so ideas like socialism were really on the rise, and it was a pretty prominent force in America at the time. And there was a publication, a socialist publication called Appeal to Reason. It's actually the first place that they published Upton Sinclair's book, The Jungle, which was sort of an expose, if you will, about working conditions in Chicago at the slaughterhouses in the back of the yards neighborhood. And that had a huge part in worker reform, And this publication was called Appeal to Reason, and I was just so struck by that title. It was like, Appeal to Reason, yeah, like these aren't radical ideas. These aren't crazy, anarchy kind of ideas. These are ideas of fairness, the idea of fairness and the idea of just appealing to a reasonable part of the human psyche, and that's kind of, even our band, that's all we're asking, It's like, only in a world this screwed up could asking people to be fair to each other be deemed as radical or subversive.
You're also supporters of organizations like PETA and Punk Voter.
Mm-hmm.
What's behind your support of those groups?
Well, PETA, we're all vegetarian, and so none of us eat meat, and they're easily the most effective animal rights organization out there. They really get the most done. Their campaigns are just, they're everywhere, and they really get people thinking. They're thought-provoking, and it's something that we certainly
certainly are in your face. I mean, you want dissent.
Mm-hmm.
You want subversive ideas.
Yeah.
They're a good one.
Yeah, they are, and they're very in your face, and it's very it's shocking, thought-provoking stuff. And we are inundated by media so much that PETA has learned that to fight fire with fire, you need to get in people's faces to make them think. If you just have a nice little ad like, "Don't eat meat, please," people are going to gloss right over that and go watch American Idol and go watch whatever else they watch. And PETA is in your face, pay attention to us. And people sort of. I think the critique is that they deem their things too extreme and too in your face. And it's to me, slaughterhouses are too extreme and not enough in your face. You know what I mean? The idea of eating meat is extreme, and that stuff is really the extreme stuff. And PETA's campaigns are just a response to that.
What's Punk Voter?
Punk Voter is a little more dormant nowadays, to be honest, but it started during the Bush re-election, and it was just something Fat Mike started, Fat Mike from NoFX, to try to inspire his fans, and punk fans and the world at large, to get involved in politics, because there wasn't really anybody really doing that at the time, and so he just put up a website, had tours, did a Rock Against Bush 2-volume record, got everybody from our bands and Dillinger 4 and Green Day and all these bands, as well as David Cross and Will Ferrell, to be a part of it, And it was just kind of to get kids thinking about politics, whether they were of a voting age or not, and it was a really cool vehicle. And since then, it's been it's not as active as it was, but it still certainly exists, and the website certainly exists.
Who are some of your favorite bands to tour with?
So many.
Yeah. Seems like we're on tour constantly, so this tour we have right now going out is it just literally just started yesterday, but Alkaline Trio, Thrice, Gaslight Anthem, it's a great package.
Yeah, great package.
Yeah. All the bands are great. I want to watch them all.
We have a lot of fun with a lot of Canadian bands.
Well, a couple of years ago you toured with Billy Talent.
Yeah, we did the Billy Talent tour. They were kind enough to take us out on their tour here, and then we also took them out on our tour and across the States that same year. We took the Cancer Bats to Europe, good buddies of ours.
They're doing extremely well, aren't they?
Well, they're a great band. It's they're an awesome, fresh new sound, and it's really cool stuff. And their new record, Hail Destroyer, is a killer record.
Well, they were nominated for a Kerrang Award.
Oh, they were?
Yeah,
Well, good for them.
They
man.
went to the thing, and they were in the banquet, and they didn't win, but the whole crowd was chanting "Cancer Bats, Cancer Bats."
That's awesome, man.
Which is really cool.
We went out all last summer with Silverstein. Great band.
Another band from around here.
Yeah. And we'll be coming to Canada with Thursday, which are another good friends of ours. They've been friends of ours, since we were both baby bands. Just starting out, just playing basements. We've played basements with Thursday, and so it'll be cool to come across Canada next year with them.
What other bands are you listening to? Maybe there's some new bands that we don't know about yet.
Oh, what do we? We listened to the Cavalier Conspiracy a lot lately.
Who?
The Cavalier Conspiracy.
Igor and Max from Sepultura, they had the split from Sepultura, right? Now they have a band together called the Cavalier Conspiracy. We're metalheads, by the way.
Yeah, we're kind of like really heavy music.
And it sounds like old Sepultura, so we heard about that and we got it immediately, and we were just freaking out about that.
Yeah,
Torch.
Torch is really cool. The Bronx, really cool. What else were we listening to?
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of cool bands.